So in this video, I'll be configuring or performing the OSPF on a multi-access network. So first, we're going to perform the basic configuration of the R1, R2, and R3 routers according to the following guidelines, the instructions stated. First, configure the router host name. Second, disable DNS lookup. Third, configure the exec mode password as class. Fourth, configure a message of the day banner. Fifth, configure a password for console connections as Cisco. And last, configure a password for virtual teletype connections as Cisco. So let's begin in R1. Command line interface, then enter enable. The enable command switches to the privilege level command set. Config T for configuration terminal, which enables configuration changes. Then next is we're going to configure the host name for router 1, which is host name R1. Then enter. Next is we're going to disable the DNS lookup with the following command: no IP domain lookup. Then enter. DNS server can cause delays to users when an erroneous URL is typed. So to decrease the user delays, if no DNS server is configured, so we disable DNS lookup function on the Cisco router. Next is configure a message of the day banner. So the command will be banner MOTD or message of the day, then the percentage. Message of the day, display a message when a user logs on packet tracer router. Then enter. So the command, you can use any command. So let's try this is R1. Authorized access only. Then don't forget the delimiting character. Then enter. Next is we're going to configure the exec mode password as class, which is enable secret class. Then enter. Next is we're going to configure a password for console connections as Cisco. The command will be line console 0. The use of line console 0 command is to connect a switch or router through a medium console. Then enter. Next will be password. Cisco. Then log in to set the router to ask for authentication. Next will be the configure a password for virtual teletype connections. So the command will be line VTY 0 to 15. The line VTYs are the virtual terminal lines of the router, used solely to control inbound telnet connections. They are virtual in the sense that they are a function of software. There is no hardware associated with them. And 0 to 15 is a kind of range command. We are giving range of 0 to 15, which means all 16 lines. Then enter password Cisco. Then exit. So next is we are going to configure the IP addresses and the subnet mask on router 1. So int fa0/0, then enter. IP address. So the IP address given here is 192.168.1.1 with a subnet mask of 255.255.255.0. Then enter no shutdown. Then exit. The no shutdown command enables the interface to move from administration down to status to up, or in simple words, turns the interface on or it enables it. So next is we're going to configure on router 2. Same process goes to router 2. Command line interface, then enable config t, host name will be R2, then no IP, domain, lookup. Then next is the banner or the message of the day banner. The command will be banner MOTD to the delimiting character. This is R2 authorized access only. And don't forget the delimiting character. Enter. Next is enable secret class. Then enter. Line console 0, password Cisco, log in. Then line VTY 0 to 15, password Cisco. Then exit. Next is we're going to configure the fast Ethernet 00 IP addresses and subnet mask. So the given IP address is 192.168.1.2. The subnet mask of 255.255.255.0. Then enter no shutdown. Then exit. Next is we're going to configure the router 3. Same procedure, command line interface, enter, enable, config t configuration terminal, host name will be R3, then no IP, domain, next is the banner, MOTD, and the delimiting character. This is router 3 authorized access only. Then enter. Next is enable secret class. Then the line console 0 password Cisco. Then log in. Next is the line virtual teletype 0 to 15 of range. Then password Cisco. Then exit. Next is we're going to configure the fast Ethernet 00 in FA, then IP address. The IP address given on router 3 is 192.168.1.3. with a subnet mask of 255.255.0. Then enter no shutdown. Then exit. Next is configure OSPF on router 3. So we're going to use the command router OSPF 1. The number 1 here is the process ID. A number between 1 and 65,535. Then enter. The next is network. Then the network address 192.168.1.0 with a wildcard mask. The wildcard mask can be configured as the inverse of the subnet mask. The given is 255.255.255.0. So the wildcard mask will be 0.0.0.255. Area and area ID of 0. Then enter. Then exit. Next is let's read to router 2. Router OSPF 1. Then network. The network address will be 192.168.1.0 with a wildcard mask of 0.0.0.255. Then enter. Network 192.168.1.0 with a wildcard mask of 0.0.0.255. Then area ID of 0. Then exit. The next is on router 1. Router OSPF 1. Network address will be 192.168.1.0 with a wildcard mask of 0.0.0.255. Then an area ID of 0. Then exit. So next we're going to configure the OSPF priority on router 1 with the command of interface FA/0. Then enter IP OSPF priority. The given is 255. Then enter, then exit. Next is on router 2. The command of interface FA0/0. Enter IP OSPF priority as 0. Then exit. The next is on router 3. Interface FA0/0. Then enter IP OSPF priority of 100 based on the given. Then enter, then exit. So as you can see in the completion percentage, it's already 100%, and let's go check the results. It's stated here that congratulations guest, you completed the activity and assessment items. As you can see, we got all the green check marks that indicates we configure all correctly. So that would be all, and thank you.